Dear learners, welcome to the session on Conceptual Foundations of e-Content. Today we will be discussing about meaning of e-Content, various elements of e-Content. We'll also talk about the types of e-Content. Today the word E is one of the most widely used alphabets of English language and has even entered the vocabulary of other languages. It is e-learning, e-resources, e-governance and many more. E is an abbreviation of electronic. It is considered to be quite magical as it is believed that if it is associated with any system, process, product, it becomes efficient and effective. E denotes that all things are digital. Today, the entire world is on fast track mode towards digitization. It necessitates that we renew our skills at faster rate than ever before. Now, we have to learn new things using new technologies. The new technologies have emerged from an all-encompassing growth of ICT. It is more of a modern-day jinn, a supernatural creature in early Arabian and later Islamic mythology and theology who could do all we asked for. Similarly, today ICT has become pervasive in modern day life. It has the potential to make knowledge reach everyone. Thus, education has become inclusive. It is the basis of e-content. Wide varieties of e-content, the digital material which are of educational significance are available online and offline. E-content is one of the mainstay of the educational process. It has been made available in the form of books over centuries. The limitation of books is its limited availability and also it is not available to us at all times. ICT has transformed the paper-based content into e-content. Have you ever wondered why e-content has become so pervasive? E-content has become pervasive because of its ability to overcome the constraints of time, place and the pace of learning. It can be accessed by anyone, anytime and anywhere, which is the main reason for its popularity. E-content includes all kinds of content which can be created and delivered through both standalone or networked electronic devices, be it mobile devices, desk-based devices. E-content is available in almost all subjects and for almost all levels of education. It can be easily shared across the networks to an unlimited number of users for infinite times across the world. It also caters to a wide variety of learners with diverse needs, different backgrounds, experiences and skill levels. E-content can be delivered to different learners and as many times as desired without any loss of quality or the quantity. Duplicating or updating content has become very easy with e-content. It is also attempted that e-content should have media components which can be reused in different contexts and are called reusable learning objects or the RLOs. These individual course components, media elements such as graphics, animations, part of modules can be reused and repackaged into other modules. E-content is available both as proprietary content, open education resources or the OER and free content in public domain. Proprietary e-content is produced by companies in education domain which have e-content and sell it to the institutions and learners at a price. On the other hand, some of the quality materials are available free of cost without restriction in public domain. There is another category called open education resources or the OER which are available free with minimum restrictions and can be used, reused and modified by teachers as well as students for their teaching and learning activities. It is a step towards anytime learning with e-content available on 24/7 basis. Let us look at the various definitions of e-content available. Defining e-content, the Oxford Dictionary says, e-content is the digital text and images designed to display on web pages. According to Saxena in 2010, e-content is basically a package that satisfies the conditions like minimization of distance, cost effectiveness, user friendliness, and adaptability to local conditions. The Wikipedia defines e-content as digital content that can be transmitted over computer networks such as internet. Thus, we can say that e-content is digital content which can be given to any learner anywhere and at any time. The 3 A's: any place, any time, and anyone. Capability is the strength of e-content. Let's talk about the meaning of e-content. E-content is designed and developed using various media components. These include text, images or graphics, animation, audio and video. We further add navigation, interactivity to make learning experience more interaction based. E-content may have only one media component or may have a combination of 2 or many media components. The e-content can be displayed offline as well as online. It can be shared and transferred without any loss of its quality. We need appropriate electronic devices and software for design, development, storage, and even use of e-content. The e-content could be single media content, wherein only one type of media is used to create the e-content, like text is used in case of e-books, audio in case of music, song or audiobooks. The other will be multimedia e-content, which is a combination of 2 or more media types, like a video using audio, textual, visuals to make information clear for the audience. That help learners understand where they are, where they can go, and how to get there. It is very important because while learning through e-content, the learner do not lose their path and fail to link the information presented on different pages. It provides learners abilities to move throughout the content based on the content menu. Interactivity is the kind of learner response that the e-content elicits. It can be mere pressing a mouse button or a pull-down menu or a hypertext or a hypermedia. Now, after knowing about e-content, let us talk about the elements or the components of e-content. The e-content has different building blocks like multimedia. These are text, images, graphics, audio, video, and animation. E-content consists of any media or all of them. Let us learn about each one of them a little in detail. Text is the most important element of any e-content and is also predominant communication medium. Using text is still very popular in e-content because textual e-content is small in size. Therefore, it can be delivered over a lower bandwidth without any problem. The text media makes e-content searchable over internet, and also the user can easily search the specific words or phrases. Also, it is much easier to update a textual e-content. The text media makes the e-content searchable over internet, and also the user can easily search specific words or phrases. It also makes updating the text easier in e-content. Developing this is also easy, and you can either create text files through WordPad or MS Word or directly type in the e-content authoring software. You can save text files in the many formats for e-content creation. It is also easy to contextualize it, like converting it in local language, giving local examples. Thus, converting a textual e-content from one language to another is quite easy. Another important media is image and graphics. A famous quote is that a picture speaks more than 1,000 words. In e-content too, images play an important role in concept clarification as well as concept attainment. An image is in form of still picture, painting or a photograph taken through a digital camera. An image is made up of pixels or the picture elements. The pixel values of intensity in images are called as grayscale levels. There are different kinds of image formats like captured image format and the format where images are stored. The captured image format is characterized by its spatial resolution, which is specified as pixels into pixels. For example, 640 into 480. And also color encoding, which is specified by bits per pixel. Both these factors depend on hardware and the software for input and output of images. The stored image format is when we store an image, we are storing a two-dimensional array of values in which each value represents the data associated with a pixel in an image. These images can be edited easily with the help of many softwares like OpenOffice, LibreOffice Draw, GIMP, Inkscape, MyPaint, Corel Photo Paint, and many others. The two most popular graphic formats for e-content and the web pages in general are GIF and JPG. Both are bitmap files that are relatively small in size. Another important medium for e-content is audio, which can enhance learning of concepts and reinforce ideas presented as text or graphics on a screen. Using audio may be essential to the teaching of topics such as foreign languages or music. It helps us to appreciate the music and the sound. There are three types of audio assets that are commonly used in e-learning: the music, narration, which is basically the voiceover, and the sound effects. Music demands a higher quality and a wider sound frequency range than narration and therefore produces larger files. Narrations generally have a smaller sound frequency range, so it can be compressed more than music and still retain good sound quality. Sound effects are generally short, so they don't have a large impact on the overall file size of the online course or the e-content. In audio, we look for compressed formats with the goal of having small file size with acceptable quality of audio. There are different options depending upon which authoring software you are using. Both Shockwave audio used by Authorware and Director and MP3, which is used by Flash, are popular compressed formats useful for all three types of audios in e-learning, which we use in e-learning. The open source audio editing software like Audacity is a very popular tool for audio editing. One of the most visible medium is video. Although video requires larger and more bandwidth to download, it is very useful for conveying certain information. Over the years, it is one of the most popular format of e-content. Video as an e-content gives a realistic visualization of the process or a product, making concept clarification and attainment to be as realistically closer to reality as possible. For example, an e-content on human anatomy will show a video created to show the three-dimensional position of all organs in the human body. Similarly, in botany, sprouting of seed, process of grafting become much clearer when you watch a video. The intricate level of detail visible in the video is also ideal for illustrating subtle non-verbal information. For example, to teach a human resource management skills, you could use a video to demonstrate an interaction between an HR manager and an employee. Then have the learners analyze the interaction involved in the transaction. There are many video formats available. Some of the standard digital video formats used for making e-content are QuickTime Video for Windows and MPEG. The most popular is MP4. Video files tend to be large, so broadband or any good internet connection is mandatory for delivery of e-content. This form of e-content has gained popularity over the last few years. In fact, MOOCs use video as predominant e-content. Swayam, the Indian MOOCs, also uses video e-content to reach the learners. There are many open source video editing tools and OpenShot is one such popular tool. Another interesting medium is animation. Animation is images or graphics with movement. It illustrates concepts which shows processes or draws attention to the region or an element on the screen. Since animations usually involve graphics, they are highly dependent upon the size and the file type of the graphics that are being animated. Animation may be created in many ways. Softwares like Blender, Authorware, Dreamweaver, Flash are used for creating animations. For example, Flash is very popular in making animations. Simple 2D animations can be created using open source tools like Pencil and more advanced tools like Blender. Now let us talk about the types of e-content. One of the ways of categorizing e-content is assembled form or the created form. In the assembled form, as the name suggests, is compilation of two or more available resources which are relevant to the e-content we need. The main point is that resources should be relevant and available under open licenses which allow its remixing and reusing. These materials are available as OER, about which we have already talked about. The OERs are available under Creative Commons license or the CC license, and one must be careful to use and compile these as e-content. The e-content thus assembled must attribute to the original authors, and also any modifications that must also be clearly mentioned on the credit page. The second type is created e-content. This type of e-content is created by the author and is primarily his or her own work. There may be references to various resources, but the e-content's authorship remains with the content creator. In e-content, especially if it is developed as a package to run on Learning Management System or the LMS, the author may not be the same as the developer. The developer may be a software expert who is converting the e-content on the authoring software. You may develop e-content in many forms. If it is text-based module, you may develop it yourself. If it is a video, you need video making infrastructure like studio, camera. If it is a web-based e-content, you may need developers who may work on Flash, Articulate, Storyline or any other software to convert it into an e-content. In this case, you remain the author of the e-content. Many easy to do authoring software are also available for authors to do the conversion to e-content themselves, like EXE, Xerte, CourseLab are such softwares which are author friendly. The author or the content developer has to provide the written material in a standard module format. You may read about the standard of e-content in another module. The advantages of e-content. E-content is getting increasingly popular among learners, both digitally native as well as digitally migrants. The features of e-content which make it popular are: e-content is the mainstay of e-learning. E-learning is anytime, anywhere and for anyone. Therefore, more and more people are opting for it. It is learner-centric in its design and development. It facilitates self-directed and self-paced learning and thus is liked by most of the learners. It uses easy navigation to make it learner-friendly. E-content can be made interactive and hands-on experience may be given to the learners. This helps in making learning process active rather than passive. It is flexible and learners can study wherever they have access to a computer and internet. Now, mobile versions of the e-content and specially designed mobile applications are being developed for learners to experience 24/7 access. Use of multimedia facilitate learners with different learning styles to learn effectively. It is known to improve self-confidence of the learners, which emerges from self-learning. It provides opportunities to learners to enhance their knowledge without being dependent on anyone else. It allows the learners to select learning material based on their level of knowledge. It can be used for consistent and effective learning, as learners can revisit the e-content as many times as they want till they have mastered the concepts. Let's also talk about some of the limitations of e-content. Besides many advantages, e-content have few limitations which must be taken into account while using it. It necessitates a basic level of computer literacy. Also, basic infrastructural access must be there for the use of e-content. Unmotivated learners may not be able to gain from the e-content, as it needs motivated learners to learn on their own, at their own will and at their own pace. Also, learners with bad study habits may lag behind, as it needs self-discipline to learn through e-content. Learners may feel isolated, or he or she is learning on his or her own through the use of e-content. Benefits of social interaction may be missing, like learning from peers is lacking. Slow or unreliable internet connection may be frustrating. Lack of familiar and routine learning ways. Some topics may not be appropriate for e-content, like those aspiring to develop effective skills in learners like orientation, appreciation, values. They feel that e-content lacks that. So today we have discussed about the electronic content or the e-content, which is digital content, which refers to the content or information delivered over network-based electronic devices, or that is made available using computer networks such as internet. E-content is available in many subjects and almost all levels of education. The different building blocks of e-content are text, images and graphics, audio, video, animation. The e-content could be single media content, wherein only one type of media is used to create the e-content, or multimedia e-content, which is a combination of two or more media types, like video uses audio, text, visuals to make information clear for the audience. It may be either assembled form of existing resources or created as a fresh e-content. It has many advantages, like anytime, any place for anyone learning. Few limitations are also there, as it is successful in only self-motivated learners. Happy e-learning. Thank you.